When I coached, one of the things I would routinely say is we don't want to hemorrhage points. And by that I meant we don't want to let another team get on a run, give up a ton of points, and then have to fight our way back. The US economy is not hemorrhaging jobs, but we are definitely not going in the right direction. Brandon, OIAS, host of Outsider Information. A little bit of a follow up from the jobs report last Friday because we got new information. There was another revision, and it made things look a little bit worse. Now, I'm still not in panic mode, but things definitely aren't great. And we're starting to see really these layoffs come into the equation now as to what it means. Like that's when you're losing jobs, that means that a lot of people likely are getting laid off and they're not finding their way back into the job market because no one's creating, because nobody knows what's going on. Things are pretty much paralyzed. What I will say is that layoffs themselves, and that's really what I want to focus on, is the layoffs, not necessarily the most responsible thing in a moment like this, because you're not saving the money that you think you're saving as an organization by laying off a bunch of people. It also shows that you really mismanaged your entire payroll by having to do as much. I'll say this, in terms of staffing capacity, I'd probably say 80 to 90% is the most that an organization needs. What we see with a lot of organizations that do their equivalent of yo-yo dieting, where they have a bunch of people, they purge them, and then eventually they're going to hire them back. You're seeing a lot of orgs go up to like 110, 120%, and then purge down to 70. Even if you're just 10% below that 80, that's a lot of people going away. It also is reminiscent of having a really poor cap situation. The New Orleans Saints would be a great example, where they're constantly borrowing on credit. They are paying into the future with a lot of their contracts, and as a result, you see them restructure every year because they keep pushing the money out. Because this is all payroll based, and because if you get laid off, you're entitled to unemployment, that's going to skyrocket the unemployment taxes or the payroll taxes that companies have to pay, because those claims are going to go up. So you're not really getting a whole lot, and you're going to also hinder your productivity, and you're going to have to end up hiring a bunch of people back anyway when things reset. So it's a really weird trick. I never really understood layoffs as any real metric of something that was a positive for an organization, because it really just showed that they messed a whole bunch of things up, and they're not losing money. They're just trying not to not make less money, if I said that right. Okay. Anyway, it's going to be something to pay attention to. As always, if anything resonates, like, subscribe, engage. We will see you next time.